Hi, I'm Nick Comer, and this is my presentation on the pollution impacting migratory waterbird populations in wetland areas in the southwest of Western Australia, in particular Herdsman Lake. The use of chemicals, fertilisers and foreign materials in areas surrounding wetlands affect the health of the wetlands and in turn put migratory waterbird populations at risk. So why did I choose this topic? I chose this because I live near two wetland areas, Herdsman Lake and Perry Lakes. After doing some research, I realised the importance the areas have on migratory waterbird populations, not just for Australia, but for the world, and are critical in maintaining their survival. Pollution of the wetlands can come from a number of ways, but I decided to focus my project on the use of chemicals such as fertilisers being used in the wetland catchment areas and the drainage of the pollutants and toxic materials into the wetlands. In researching the project, I used search engines Google and Google Scholar, using keywords like wetlands, migratory waterbirds, pollution and sustainability. I found the use of the Boolean search the most useful in obtaining the link between pollution and waterbird health. When researching, I encountered a few problems in terms of bias and credibility. I found many pro-wildlife sites had bias views on the issue, using emotive language to sway the readers to their side. These types of sites were generally blogs and or lobbies. To get around this problem, you had to check the validity and credibility, and a good general rule is if the domain or URL ends in .edu, it's reserved for colleges and universities, while .gov denotes a government website. Mix that with a credible author who is willing to have their name on the paper generally mean it is a credible source of information. So what have I found out so far? Phosphorus and nitrogen are compounds that are needed by all plants for ideal growth and are the basic ingredients for most fertilisers. But once these fertilisers are used incorrectly and overused, the excess chemicals make their way into the catchment areas and proceed to make their way into the wetlands. So what does this mean? It means excess phosphorus harms clean, clear water by creating algal blooms. This process is known as eutrophication. It basically turns the water green and cloudy, depleting the oxygen for fish and microorganisms and effectively suffocating them. This results in killing the water bird's food source. Furthermore, a study was conducted by the Department of Water, and Herdsman Lake was identified as the site with the highest level of contaminants of the Perth drainage area, as seen in these images. Polychlorinated biphenyls, also known as PCBs, were detected, as well as a range of other contaminants, along with the excess metals including aluminium, arsenic, lead and zinc. Animals that ingest small amounts of PCBs in food over several weeks or months develop various health effects, including liver, stomach and thyroid gland injuries, causing death. Other effects of PCBs in animals include changes in the immune system, behavioural alteration and impaired reproduction. This was the case in Japan, where 400,000 birds died after eating feed that was contaminated with PCBs, showing that these harsh chemicals have the potential to wipe out large numbers of water birds if left unattended. Toxic algae blooms also have been proven to kill animals, with cases in America being blamed for killing brown pelicans, bald eagles, sea otters, ducks, fish, and even pet dogs. So therefore, both the use of fertilisers and pollution draining into the wetlands put the migratory waterbird populations at risk. Further research and investigation can go into how we can control the amount of toxin and pollutants entering Herdsman Lake. To link this to the Australian curriculum, in general, I believe the education of sustainability of the environment and its role it plays in the world should start at a very young age, but a good year level to introduce education would be Year 4, which concentrates on the content descriptor that science knowledge helps people to understand the effect of their actions. This relates to the direct pollution that the human population create, which is currently affecting the wetlands and the health and survival of the water birds. Obviously, it can also be linked with sustainable futures and how our actions need to be designed and preserve and or restore the quality and uniqueness of the environments. And this happens by preserving Herdsman Lake so it will allow the water birds to inhabit and thrive there for many years to come. Thank you very much for listening.